Ever wonder why your first Minecraft house always feels like home, even years later? There's a different kind of magic in clicking Create New World, a feeling of anticipation, of endless possibilities, a brand new landscape that over days, weeks, or even years might become something deeply personal. We never really talk about it, but every Minecraft world we start says something about where we were in life. Whether it's the one you started with childhood friends after school, the survival realm you built during lockdown, or maybe the creative build you tinkered in a random moment of inspiration. These aren't just saved files on your computer, they are time capsules. You load into an old world years later and it hits you. The cobblestone house you thought was peak architecture, the random farm built in the worst spot imaginable, that huge railway that your friend built connecting all settlements. It's not just blocks, it's a snapshot of who you were when you placed them. Every little decision, every strange build, every half-finished mine, it all brings back memories of that time in your life. The music you were listening to, the people you were close with, maybe even what you were trying to escape from. Minecraft doesn't have a storyline, but somehow it ends up telling yours. And the best part is, you don't even need to be a hardcore Minecraft player to understand this. That's the magic of it. Even if you only tried the game once, years ago, on a whim, there's a good chance that old world still exists, quietly sitting in some dusty game folder. You might have forgotten about it, but it hasn't forgotten about you. And one day, maybe you'll open it up again and instantly remember who you were when you built that little dirt hut or your first farm. Minecraft felt like a classic the moment you booted it up. Despite being something entirely new, everything about it, the graphics, the sound effects, the music, somehow felt familiar. It was like a game we all had played before, even though we hadn't. That strange sense of nostalgia came from a clever mix of retro influences, the blocky textures, the lo-fi audio cues, the simple enemy designs. They all echoed the aesthetics of early adventure dungeon crawling games. Minecraft didn't borrow from the past. It channeled it in a way that made the entire world feel timeless. And then there was the music. The soundtrack didn't just randomly blast off, it drifted in quietly, sometimes fading in when you were deep in a cave or watching the sunrise over your first dirt shack. It gave the world emotional weight, making every simple moment feel meaningful. The ambient piano and soft synths wrapped around the gameplay, making even the most mundane moments feel strangely profound. That's the part of why these worlds stick with us, not just for what we built, but how we felt while building them. The moment you hit Create New World, it's always charged with a special kind of excitement, a fresh start brimming with anticipation and possibility. You begin making plans before the world even loads. Maybe this time it's going to be a hardcore survival run, where every decision carries weight. Or maybe it's a relaxed, creative journey, where you finally built that dream base in a biome you've never explored before. You might experiment with a new architectural style, or set yourself a bold challenge, like constructing a sprawling mountain fortress or a city connected by a self-powered minecart network. That spark of inspiration hits, and suddenly the possibilities feel endless. No two new worlds are ever the same, and that's what keeps players coming back. The thrill of starting over, of chasing a vision, and seeing how far it can take you. And that's the thing, the joy of Minecraft isn't beating the Ender Dragon or finishing some grand mega base. It's in everything that happens before that. Most of the time, those moments, the quiet routines, the small victories and the sense of discovery slowly fade away once the world has fulfilled some grand objective. The magic fades, not all at once, but gradually, as the reasons to load back in become fewer and further between. That's why sometimes it's better to leave things open-ended, to let your imagination roam without locking yourself into a specific goal. No final boss, no mega base. Just the joy of seeing where the world takes you. The early days when you're punching trees, running from skeletons with half a heart, or arguing with your friends about where to build a starter base. The spontaneous decisions, the weird little side projects, the rabbit holes you fall into when you say, I'll just mine for 5 more minutes. That's where the real game lives. I once built a railway system connecting all our bases and settlements. It took ages to build and it made no sense, as we could get there faster using boats or horses. But we still used it since it was a fun ride. and it was supposed to be even more ambitious, crossing a huge mountain range and eventually an ocean. It never got fully finished, and it didn't need to. Let me know in the comments if you have any memories of those silly or unexpected builds from your playthroughs. It's always fun to hear what people come up with. And if you're enjoying the video so far, consider subscribing and leaving a like, as it really helps the channel grow. We treat these worlds like they have an end goal, but the truth is, most of them never reach it. And that's not a failure, that's the charm, because the unfinished stuff, the half-built towers, the redstone contraptions that never worked, the mysterious chest filled with junk you forgot about, that's part of who you are. The beauty of Minecraft is that it lets you be present in the moment, building your own tiny universe block by block, without needing to finish for it to mean something. Sometimes setting those big, ambitious goals can quietly steal the joy from the journey itself. You become so focused on the end result, the mega base, the perfect build, the full netherite gear, that you forget to enjoy the little things along the way. The sunrise over the pixelated hill, the accidental creeper explosion that turns into a weird landscaping project, the jokes and the laughs that you have on voice chat while seeing your friend's masterpiece. And this goes deeper than just some Minecraft world. It mirrors how we often move through real life, setting milestones, chasing achievements, grinding for some distant finish line. But in doing that, we can lose sight of the present, of the small, quiet moments that actually make life feel full. Minecraft, in its simplicity, reminds us that the journey itself is the reward, that just walking through the world, building a little more every day, is meaningful even if you never finish anything. And that's why we keep starting over. Not because we're trying to finish something, but because we're chasing a feeling. The feeling of spawning in a brand new world, hearing the rustle of the trees and the soft piano in the distance, and thinking, what do I want this to be? While deep down knowing that it can be anything. It's a blank canvas with endless potential without the need of an elaborate plan. It won't be perfect most of the times, and it doesn't even need to be. And sure, maybe most of those worlds will be left behind, but that's fine, because the point was never to stay in them forever. It was just to be there when you needed them. As much as Minecraft is a personal experience, it's also a deeply social one. We've all had that one server, the one where 5 friends started with the noble goal of building a town, and it ended with one guy accidentally burning down half the village, and another disappearing into a mine and never returning, and someone else building a giant inappropriate pixel art near spawn. Those shared worlds become oddly intimate digital spaces. They're messy, chaotic, and rarely go as planned. But that's exactly what makes them special. The group base that never got finished. The community farm that no one ever actually used. The nether hub someone said they'll build and forgot about it completely. These places are as memorable as any finished mega build. What's wild is how the smallest, dumbest things become the most vivid memories. A creeper hole nobody ever patched, a badly placed door someone insisted was intentional, a sign with an inside joke that hasn't made sense for years. They turn into landmarks of your time together, not because they were grand, but because they were shared. And it's not always chaotic. Sometimes it's just a place to hang out after school or during summer break, or even as adults trying to find an hour after work. You log in, mine a bit, talk about your life. You're not really playing in the traditional sense anymore. You're just there, together, and that's enough. Even now, years later, if you reopened one of those old servers, you'd probably remember exactly who built what, whose dog that was, and why the floating dirt block hasn't been touched. It's a kind of digital archaeology, and each layer tells a story, not just of the game, but of your friendship at that time. Minecraft is over a decade old, and somehow it still feels relevant. Not just in the sense of updates and player numbers, though those are still massive, but in the way it continues to mean something personal to people. Other games come and go, big releases with marketing budgets the size of small countries, hyped features, flashy graphics, and yet most of them fade. You play them, you move on, but Minecraft just stays. It's not bound to a single era or generation. It's this strange, timeless space where kids today are having the exact experience people had in 2012, punching trees, building dirt huts, getting blown up by creepers and laughing about it. And yet, it never feels outdated. If anything, the simplicity is its power. Because Minecraft was never about just the game mechanics. It was and still is a canvas, a place where your own creativity, mood, and life circumstances become part of the gameplay. That's why people come back. That's why it lingers in memory, more than almost any other game. And as time goes on, Minecraft doesn't feel like an old game. It feels like your game, your stories, your dumb inside jokes with friends, your first diamond, that cursed world where your dog fell into lava. It becomes part of you in a way most games don't get close to. It doesn't matter what version you played, whether it was your dad's work laptop, your friend's Xbox, your fancy RTX enabled rig. Minecraft always felt like home, and is probably going to outlive everything else, not because it's the flashiest or the most advanced game, but because it never needed to be. It just needed to let you build, and you did. Maybe it's been years since you last loaded up that world, or maybe you've been thinking about starting a new one. Either way, it's still there, waiting. That's the quiet magic of Minecraft. It doesn't ask for your time, or demand your attention. It just exists, ready for when you are. And when you do come back, maybe with friends or just by yourself on a quiet evening, the moment you break that first block again, you'll remember exactly why it mattered. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one.